right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another glorious day of the OCHS Live Sports Lounge. We have Eli Hansford coming to us live from Pittsburgh-ish.
As always.
Carson is lost in the fields of Valhalla for the golf outing. And we have Nathan Kemper joining us today from the beaches of, I don't know where he's at.
Panama.
I don't think he knows where he's at either.
Cancun.
Too many shots to the head, and he's not sure where he's located at today. But yeah, it's a good day for our last show, we think. So we'll kind of jump into it with the Eli Hansford segment about the FLEA, the NHL. What do we got, Eli?
Is this as of last night?
This is as of this morning. So Stars are up 3-2.
Yep, Stars are up 3-2. Avalanche won last night.
Has the Avalanche been looking good, or what's it been looking like?
They dropped a couple stinkers in there. Games 3 and 4 were pretty bad for them, but Game 5 they ended up winning, staying alive in the series.
Okay.
You know, Avalanche is never a team that you should underestimate. They just have goal scorer after goal scorer.
Yeah, I was about to say, they're normally in the thick of it for what's going on in hockey. That's normally
Nathan McKinnon is a guy to watch.
Okay.
Number 29 there.
All right, and then the other series, looks like we have the Canucks and the Oilers tied at 2-2. Who do you think is going to come out top on that one?
It's really tough to say. Both teams are pretty evenly matched. I mean, they have lots of star power on both sides. It's just going to come down to which
Whoever's
goaltending,
yeah.
which goaltending can be better.
Okay.
Oilers made a goalie change after Game 3. That ended up working out for them as they won.
Yeah. Who you think?
Canucks are still waiting to see if Thatcher Demko is going to be able to come back, but Artem Silovs has been pretty good in the net.
Who's your pick coming out of these two, the Canucks and the Oilers?
I still have the Stars and Oilers.
Okay. Thinking the Stars will be able to close it off against the Avalanche.
I don't know if it'll be in Game 6.
Where's Game 6 at for the Stars?
Colorado.
So I think I would have to root with the hometown team of Avalanche in that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a hometown series. I don't know much about the Canucks and the Oilers otherwise, but I think the other one's definitely a hometown series. And then we have in the other conference there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pull that one up. Let's see what we got going on.
Panthers, Bruins. These are two teams that are just going to rip your heads off.
That's
pretty
historically very good programs. The Bruins had a real good year this year, if I'm not mistaken. Played very well. And Florida's been good over the last couple, so this looks like it's a good series at 3-2.
I mean, Panthers jumped up 3-1. For the Bruins, Brad Marchand, his status is still up in the air. That's a weird little shading I have right there.
Yeah, your little background shadow covering up the trolley.
Yeah, a little weird there, but...
Oh, you know what? Kemper, go hit them light switches. Turn on the lights. Might be why we're a little funky today. In the other one, we got the Rangers and the Hurricanes.
Yep. Rangers jumped up to a 3-0 series lead. That's better.
That cleared it up right there.
Yep.
Let me get out of your shot there. So the Rangers up to the 3-2 lead. See if they can't close that out.
Game 6 is in Raleigh. Carolina has all the momentum right now in that series.
Okay. Who are you thinking out of that one? Rangers or Hurricanes coming out?
It's tough to say because on one hand, I want to go with the hot hand, the Hurricanes right now, but the Rangers just have so much talent all across the board.
Now, have they announced Rookie of the Year or anything like that for hockey? Or are they still
they do that like after the Stanley Cup.
Okay. You think your guy will get Rookie of the Year there? The kid that was supposed to
Bedard?
be Bedard up there in Chicago.
I think it's pretty cut and dry that he'll end up with it.
I knew he was the hype coming into the season. He was supposed to be.
He's the real deal.
So I think that's good. I think hockey needs that. They need those guys that can kind of change the game and get people back.
Those guys like Sidney Crosby, for example, back in like 2005.
Yeah, when Sid the kid came in, people were getting all over hockey because that was the big. They wanted to watch that ticket.
Yep.
You're starting to see that, I think, a little bit now with the WNBA, where people are starting. They want to see Caitlin Clark play. They want to see some of these other young cats get out there. And play.
It's all about having players to market. That's something that, say, the Arena Football League has had problems with.
Yeah, they're always trying to figure that out and trying to get those players out there and what we can see. So looks like we're gonna. What are we saying? Stars and Canucks, Panthers, Rangers, or what are you thinking? There?
From preseason, I've said Stars, Hurricanes will be the Cup final.
All right.
I'm still going with it.
Still going with it? Carson?
Still going to go with it.
Carson, what are they saying out there in Valhalla about the NHL championships? Are they?
I have not a clue.
Stars and Hurricanes?
I like the Canucks. It's a pretty cool name.
Okay.
Canucks, Panthers.
That's who you're picking? All right. Kemp, what are you thinking over there on the beaches?
Didn't know a single name of these teams until today.
Whose logos do you like the best? We'll do it like the kids do. Whose logos do you like the best?
I need a bigger
Stars and Avalanche, Canucks, Oilers.
Oiler. I like the Oilers.
Okay, we like the Oilers. That's a good
You
one.
guys for the
Rangers.
Rangers, and then Panthers or Bruins. What are you thinking?
I like Panthers. Actually, no, I don't like Panthers.
All right, we're
Bruins.
going for the Bruins on that one.
Roberto picked Panthers Oilers. If that influences your decision at all, Nathan.
Let's see. We don't have anybody on our.
Shout out to Roberto.
All right. I don't see anybody on our thing today. We'll see how old Roberto's doing through the day. And then we talk about going on in the NBA. We got some playoffs going on. Kemper, you up on the NBA a little bit or
Nope, not at all.
no? Kemper, why did I bring
Who
you on
invited
here?
this guy?
Y'all- he's a
Y'all
baseball
call me
guy.
down. Y'all call me down.
baseball guy.
Okay, so we
Wait
get
for
to
his
the baseball section. We're going to pass it off to you.
Don't really know too much about baseball either.
Who brought this guy on?
Hey, the Bengals schedule just got released.
The Bengals schedule did get released.
We'll
Maybe
get to that.
We'll come back and talk about the NFL
17
releases.
and 0.
Carson, what do you think about the NBA here? How's it been looking?
This Thunder.
Pacers all the way.
Yeah, you're crazy. You're crazy. They won't even make it past the Knicks. But this Thunder Maverick series has been actually
been pretty good. It's been back and forth.
Dallas dominated last night. It was. They've been talking about Luka and the refs, how Luka was crying about the refs, and he just needed to stay focused. And then when he did stay focused, we seen last night what would happen.
Yeah.
Dallas was firing on all cylinders, and if the Thunder can't score, they can't win. Then their main thing is defense. So if
Yeah.
they're trying to play better defense than you and beat you that way. But you can't hold down Luka, Kyrie, and that Mavs 5 for long.
Yeah.
Considering how good Derrick Jones Jr. has been playing, averaging the career highs in every stat. They're just not. I don't see a way where Thunder can beat them. And if we recall about last week, 2 weeks ago, I said Mavericks were going
We're
to beat
going to
them.
pull it out. I think so. I think we'll have to go back and check that one out. But I did see. I don't know if you fellas saw. There was a guy that cashed out the winning ticket.
Yes, the parlay, the
Yeah,
3-1,
he had a 3-game parlay. He took
for
80.
89,000.
Yep, off the 1.7 million. I think I'd have taken it too.
I would have too.
Especially now that it's 3-2, that makes it even harder to get that
Yes, the
that
cash
money
out
out
goes
of
down
there.
about 50,000 after that
Yeah.
point.
And the other matchup in the West looks like we have the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. Close series, 3-2.
I'm sad. I'm rooting for the Timberwolves, but they're the Timberwolves. They're from Minnesota. They can't do anything.
Here's like the thing about this is probably the worst matchup for the Nuggets, and if they're going to come out here and just win 4 straight games after going down 0-2, that's terrifying. Rudy Gobert is probably the best player in the world right now that can guard Jokic. He did it well in games 1 and 2. When he played amazing defense on Jokic, they pretty much just took care of him easy. And then after like these last three games, it's been like completely different. Like Aaron Gordon's been playing out of his mind, and Cat has been playing terrible. Like he's just been so inconsistent. And Ant's had 5 straight 40-point games.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to take advantage of Ant playing like that, then you're pretty much praying for good defense. You're praying for someone else to step up, and no one stepped up. And they just haven't been playing that games 1 and 2 defense they've been playing all year.
And I think those were the 2 hot teams coming in, if I'm not mistaken. I know they had the 1 and 2 seed, but the Thunder and then the Nuggets. Because I remember we were talking a couple weeks ago about, hey, who's going to have to go play the Nuggets, and is that really worth? Do you want the 7 seed to go play them, and vice versa? The Pelicans? I don't think they wanted any part of the 8 seed. It was good to be in the playoffs. Without Zion, they didn't really have a chance. I think some of the other players just didn't show up.
And I think the Mavericks. I think both teams want to play the Nuggets. I don't think either of these teams want to play Denver.
Yeah.
Or not Denver, Minnesota. I think the Mavericks would rather play Denver than the Timberwolves.
Yeah, better matchups.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then in the East, can't fit that in there a little bit.
Go Pacers.
In the East, we got Celtics and Cavs, and that's already over. The Celtics, they look like they might have the hot hand in the playoffs.
See, that's the scary thing. They've dropped 2 games to 2 teams that don't even have a chance against them. Like they dropped game 2 at home versus the Heat without Jimmy Butler. That's kind of concerning. And then they dropped game 2 at home against the Cavs, which is even more concerning considering Garland only dropped like 15 points that game. So if they're just going to have these games where they're not all the way there and just they can't coming up against playing the Knicks.
You're gonna need all hands on deck.
Yeah, you can't be dropping a game because going into Madison Square Garden and trying to face them.
Yeah, whether it's the Knicks or the Pacers, and shouts out to Hickle and and Eli over here about their Pacers, but they have a chance. They've been able to stick in there with it, and neither one of those teams, like you're saying, if you don't bring your A game against the Pacers, it can get ugly. And same thing for the Knicks. The Brunsons put up 40 over the last couple games, if I'm not mistaken.
And I like to say, if the Knicks had Julius Randle, they'd have probably won it all this year. The way that the Villanova 3 is playing, and they were just that team they played good all regular season, had some unfortunate injuries, and everybody was just kind of writing them off. 76ers got Embiid back. I think the Sixers could win the series. And then they just kind of started playing some really good basketball. And then they dropped a couple games here to Indiana that I don't think they should have lost. So, I kind of feel like this Knicks team is about 2 leaps ahead of this Pacers team.
Hey, now. Don't underestimate.
I'm just saying this Pacers team has won 2 games and they've scratched off.
Exactly.
Where's
exactly?
So they're game 6. Where's game 6 at
Indiana.
Tonight? Okay, so I can't. It's hard to root against the Pacers at home. With the way they're playing, they got some dudes that can shoot the lights out of the gym.
I just don't see a way the Pacers win the series. I don't think they can go into Madison Square Garden in a game 7 and win.
I think that's going to be the hard part, because if they can win tonight, cool, you force game 7. But can you go into, like you said, Madison Square and pull that victory out?
And the Celtics are hoping for the Pacers to win this game, so they get a couple more days rest.
Yeah, I think they're fine with all
against the Celtics.
All the rest they can get. I don't know. Do either one of these teams stack up very well against the Celtics?
No team stacks up very well against the Celtics. The Celtics are a super team, but
you think they're going to roll it all the way through?
I don't know. I think I'd take the Knicks in the 7-game series.
What about so if the Celtics do make it with their stacked up, who are we looking at in the West? Probably Thunder.
I think it goes Mavericks, Nuggets. I think Mavericks, and then I think
Dallas will finish it off tonight.
I think Dallas is going to play a different type of basketball that Denver doesn't want to play. I think Denver's going to want to slow the game down and let Jokic just use his IQ and try to just dish it out all around, get nice shots. But I think that Dallas is just going to play some cutthroat defense in the paint. They're going to try to kill Jokic down there. They're going to let Murray get his 30 points.
Yeah.
And then they're going to try and just absolutely just light it up from 3 and just kill them.
Now, with both of these in game 6 tonight, do you see them going to a game 7 for either of these series, the Thunder Mavericks or Timberwolves Nuggets?
Game 6 being at Denver, I think, and at Minnesota. I think Minnesota can take this game. They need to take this game.
4-7.
And then
that would take it back up to Denver, right, for game 7?
Yes, and the Thunder have really put themselves in a bad spot here. Super young team going into a hostile environment like Dallas, and then having to play them on the brink of elimination.
Yeah, that's a hard place to go into.
I just don't think they can do it. I think Luka is really locked in right now, and I think the way Gafford's playing and Derrick Jones Jr. When you get down to the playoffs, it's not really about your star power, how well your stars are playing.
Yeah.
It's going to be about how well the guys around them can play, the mediocre guys and the average guys who just step up.
You get to playoffs, everybody's got an all-star guy. I can put my star against your star, but like you're saying, what else do you have left? At some point, that depth off the bench is going to become an issue, especially you get deeper in these 7 games and these longer series.
And guys start getting hurt.
Yeah, exactly. And even the best player of all time, 2018 LeBron.
No.
He was not alone. Everyone says that.
We just had this argument.
I know.
We had this argument 30 minutes ago.
This is an ongoing argument.
2018 LeBron is the most dominant player of all time.
Oh, I don't know about all that.
J.R. Smith stepped up big time. George Hill stepped up big time. And a lot of those other key players just stepped up because LeBron was playing so well that that everyone else was just getting good looks and open looks.
You youngsters only saw LeBron in his prime. You never saw Jordan in his prime, so that's a whole.
Probably because he was playing against plumbers.
He might have been, but that's really
no left hand. He had no left
6
hand.
championships.
Doesn't matter when the Pacers go all the way.
Oh, we're done with the Pacers. I'm done with the 90s and the Pacers. I don't care.
6 championships, Carson.
Hey man, Reggie Miller could shoot the lights out of the gym back in the day.
Right,
you get him on the edge, and it's wide open time.
Anyways, baseball.
Yeah, coming around to baseball, talking a little American League. The Yankees are on hot. They've been playing really, really well.
Like always.
Kemper, which team has the best chance of making the World Series out of the AL? Tell me.
Which one of these teams you like?
Don't just say the Yankees.
I would hate to, it's the Yankees.
Just
That's
far
gotta be.
above everybody else.
Yeah, Yankees are unstoppable. The best team in baseball history.
Most money.
Most money.
Looking at
They're-
stats and
Hashtag bot not built.
Yeah, exactly. They're just good. They have the money to do it. They can get whoever they want.
Yeah.
And they're going to make a trade at the deadline if they don't like somebody or somebody's not playing too hot. They're going to trade somebody
The
away.
Orioles been playing very well. I'm surprised to see the Blue Jays at 19-23. I don't think that's what anybody.
Their
was
pitching has
expecting.
been really bad.
Yeah, they're trying to wait. I hope Manoah comes back. Manoah needs to come back. or
I
else
mean,
it's gonna
Manoah
be
has
bad.
been terrible though.
Well, he
these
did
past
play,
couple
he's
seasons.
pitched 2-3 good games as of late.
Haven't they
against
just
teams.
been in minor leagues?
Yeah, but you got to start somewhere.
You gotta get
Yeah.
back.
Build up your confidence again.
I think we have more wins than the White Sox have from our group of 4 here. They're just that's not a good squad this year. They just can't seem to get anything going in the right direction. for
It's
them.
bad when you're yearning for the Tony La Russa days.
I never thought anybody would pray for Tony La Russa.
They just can't get it right. Cleveland at top. Kansas City's coming in second there with 26. I mean, the Twins aren't far behind. Other than the White Sox, everybody's pretty much got a chance.
The Twins, I'm surprised we didn't talk about this last week or whenever we last did this. The Twins were on a really big heater. They were on, like an 11, 12-game win streak
Yeah,
recently? And we didn't talk about it for some reason.
they've been playing well. We see the Yankees on their 8-2 out of the last 10, probably the hottest team right now.
One of them at
I
least.
know who the coldest team is. We're going to talk about them here in a minute.
I mean, I'm not.
It is not your
I know
Pirates
it's
for
not,
once.
believe it or not.
Out west, Mariners. This is kind of a free-for-all out there, it seems like. It looks like anybody could take it.
Astros are kind of starting to get things together a bit, 6-4 in their last 10.
I think once they figure it out, I think they're going to be one of the hot teams. I think the A's are I think they're going to fizzle out by the time summer rolls around.
Hey,
Power franchise.
I'd like
Yeah.
to give a shout out to Carson though, real quick. Did you say the Athletics would make the playoffs?
Yes, I'm telling you.
Although I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
The loss-
Mason Miller has been very good.
The Las Vegas A's, Oakland, wherever they're
Sacramento.
Sacramento.
They've had this rough stretch here of 2-8. All right, they've lost 4 in a row. They'll get a bounce back. All right, and this division, as much as it
think
used
it's
to be,
wide open.
Hey, they swept the Pirates, so
They
anything
did.
can happen.
This used to be a firepower division, but Seattle's taking a step back from last year. The Rangers taking a big one.
They've got
and
a lot
so
of
have the
injuries in
Astros.
Texas.
Yeah, Rangers are dealing with injuries. Their pitching also just hasn't been the same.
No.
And to think about it in like football terms, like how big injuries are, the Bengals when they made their Super Bowl run, they didn't have any injuries. Like they were perfectly healthy. Like nobody was saying they were gonna make it. Like they were supposed to be like the second overall pick, and injuries happened to everybody else, but the Bengals stayed healthy, and that team, which probably wasn't the top 5 talented team, ran it to the Super Bowl off staying healthy
Just
and
being
having
healthy.
everybody be clicking.
That's a big part of it. You know, you need those guys to be healthy because you need those guys on your field.
Synergy and health.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
The
Yeah.
biggest thing in sports is availability.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best ability.
Speaking of, I saw a new thing. I guess they're starting to track baseball players as far as how much they move, if they're diving, where they're at on the field, how much they're moving left, right. I thought that was kind of interesting. The article was talking about how the NBA's been doing this for a long time, and also some of the soccer programs have been doing this for a while. And now baseball's kind of starting to track around because you really do a lot of running, especially, you know, Kemper can talk about this. You do a lot of running, especially in the outfield.
Outfield position. Oh my gosh.
You're always moving almost every single play, and it takes a toll on the body. Whether you're directly involved in the play or you're backing up first base or second base or whatever it may be.
Real quick, while we have a baseball player here, I'm going to change the topic just for a quick second. Nathaniel, what is the hardest position to play?
Hardest position is catcher.
Aside that, obviously. Aside catcher and pitcher.
There's
My argument would be third base.
third is
I
pretty.
would say
Third is very difficult.
third or short.
I would say third just because of the distance you got to throw.
That's not even that. When a righty pulls one right
Oh,
down
you're
your
right on
face.
top
of it.
Oh my gosh.
That thing will come screaming down the line.
I watched one of those plays happen the other day. Like line drive, one hopper straight to him. There's unless you throw your body completely in front of that ball, there's no chance you're getting that
Oh,
ball.
it's coming in hot. Mm-hmm. And that's a hard thing to get in front of, especially at the high school level where it is really hot.
Yeah.
And you're just not used to it yet.
Got one more thing on the American
go
League.
ahead.
I think this is my take. I think the White Sox are going to be so bad at the deadline. They're just going to be like, here,
Are they
take
selling it
every
all?
player. They're going to trade Luis Robert to the Orioles. All right,
If they get him, they'll be stacked.
and they are going to.
They could use another
They are
outfielder.
going to run the table. in
They
the
could use
American
another outfielder.
I think that's good for Baltimore. I think that's good for baseball to see them back up in it. To see some of those teams that we don't traditionally see in the mix. It's good.
Cough, cough, Pirates.
Yeah, we know, and the Reds too.
And the Orioles are really, really young. I was watching one of their games today, and I didn't realize this. They had the top 2 for the American League Rookie of the Year last year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
I mean, you're dealing with a young team, some guys that can really get things going in the right
I think
direction.
Gunnar Henderson will probably end up being top 10 MVP votes this year.
I wouldn't doubt it.
All right, looking at the National League.
Look at the bottom
Yeah,
feeders.
I mean, we talk about the Phillies and the Braves are always kind of in that 1-2. I didn't realize the Phillies were playing quite so good. They're on a good streak at 8-2, just the same. See if they can't take it away from the Braves. The Mets, I think, are just declining. All that payroll they put out there just isn't working out. And the Marlins, this was not their year to buy a championship. Doesn't look like.
It never was.
No,
Not in that division. Not with that talent.
I'll tell you what, Miami will figure it out because, okay, we're going to win it this year, pay the money, and let's do it. And it just seems to magically work out for them every time they try and do that.
Well, here's talking about the National League East. The Philadelphia Phillies, I saw a stat the other day. Aaron Nola has a 3.08 ERA, which is like top
It's
30.
pretty good.
It's top 30 or top 40.
Yeah, pretty good.
He has the 5th best ERA on his team.
Really?
So
Ooh,
they
boy.
are pitching
Oh, boy.
out of their mind.
So they got some guys that can deal.
They are insane. And their bullpen is usually the problem. I mean, they've been locked down after the starting comes out of the game.
Speaking of the NL East, I'll go back to the Marlins for a second. Second baseman Luis Arias
Traded.
was traded to the Padres. And at first I didn't really get it because the Padres already have a left-handed second baseman in Jake Cronenworth. So it didn't make a ton of sense to me. But now after seeing him play in a Padres uniform, I'm like, okay, that's why they got
And if I'm
him.
not mistaken, he had the game winner in his debut, didn't he?
Something like that. Pretty early on,
Yeah,
at least.
Pretty early he had a game winner. We talk about our favorite, the Central.
Oh, boy.
Brewers are doing well. Cubbies are doing well. They got
Pirates just got shellacked by the Brewers yesterday, and they start a series against the Cubs today.
the Cubbies got a young pitcher that's doing really well, the international guy they brought over. And I'll let you talk about your boy Skeens for a minute. I know he had a hell of a debut coming out and pitching. And I think that's going to be the hopeful for the Pirates coming in.
I'm actually looking forward to watching the Pirates over the next 2 days, believe it or not.
When does Skeens pitch next?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Skeens pitches tomorrow. Jared Jones pitches today.
Okay.
Despite Jared Jones' 2-4 record, though, he's actually had a good season. He just doesn't have any run support.
Yeah, record and ERA, they're kind of misleading.
And I thought Skeens did really well in his debut. Lots of strikes. He was throwing over 100. And he does it very easily. There's not a lot of doesn't look like there's a lot of effort in that motion and delivery.
They just got to make sure he stays healthy.
I think that's going to be the key thing.
I'm already expecting him to need Tommy John surgery at some point. It's just a matter of when.
Just because he plays for the Pirates and he's got some potential, something's going to happen.
It's not that. It's just the velocity he throws at. He pitches like a reliever.
Yeah,
He does. He
he's
pitches a
throwing
102 as a starting pitcher, and he goes like 4 innings.
And
But
then-
those are reliever numbers. But about his debut, it says he gave up 3 runs. I only really credit him with 1. He only gave up 1 solo shot.
Yeah.
He gave up 2 hits at the start of the 5th inning, got pulled. And then the bullpen couldn't throw a strike from there. 16 consecutive balls
Yeah, that's
at
not
that
gonna-
point.
That's not going to help your record right there.
Yeah.
And
But
then our basement dwellers, they just look bad.
This is life as a Reds fan right here. Just
Yep.
laying
This
on
is
the
bad.
wall, waiting.
It was the one game I watched the other night. It was they were showing batting averages. It was like the 5 through 9 hitters, 176, 154,
Yeah.
195. Like, come on, fellas.
But that
Like,
also
this
has to
isn't-
do.
I mean, you gotta at least hit the Mendoza line.
Like, this is bad.
That also has to do a lot with like your payroll. Like we can't afford to buy like top of the end like average players. We just gotta hopefully they develop.
Hopefully, you get a cheap guy and he works out.
And
Their hitting has been so bad
with
recently.
TJ Friedel coming back for one game and then breaking
Breaking
his
his hand.
thumb,
I saw
like what you can do. I'm here for the fire David Bell agenda. I hate David Bell. He's terrible. I don't care if he hadn't had a team worth the crap in the last couple of years. The fact that we missed the playoffs in 2018-19 when we had that
Yeah,
crazy.
they were stacked. They
Oh
had
my
some
God!
squads.
Fire him. He's terrible.
So I don't know who the hitting coach is now, but at some point his head's going to have to be on the block. I'm thinking his head is going to be before Bell's
Hopefully both.
because they just can't. it's not working out for whatever reason. The pitching seems to be okay at times, and then at other times, just not.
When you play in a ballpark like Great American Ballpark that is legit a minor league field, 330 feet,
Yeah.
and you can't score more than 2 runs, we're obviously not gonna pitch a shutout.
And it's only going to get worse because in the summertime, that ball's really going to start jacking out.
I play on fields bigger than that.
I'll say this.
I really do.
In T-ball?
Pretty much.
I'll say this. I think the Pirates they've had a similar problem to the Reds. I mean, the Pirates just can't hit.
Yeah.
Their pitching overall has been pretty decent this year. I mean, you see they've only allowed 197 runs, which doesn't look great on the surface.
Yeah.
But, I mean, then you look at how many runs they've actually scored, 163. That's I
not
think,
a very good differential.
I mean, it's the worst, tied for the worst in the National League, as you can see.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's never going to win you any ball games.
No.
Now, I complimented the pitching, disregarding yesterday when they gave up 10 to the Brewers.
Not a good day. Not a good day.
But, I mean, Keller has been hot recently. Jared Jones, again, he's been pitching well. And Skeens had a good debut. I mean, those are 3 guys the Pirates can use in their rotation in the
Build
future.
around. You got Cruz,
And they're all young, too.
You got Cruz on offense.
Cruz has been hot.
So you got some guys you can build around.
Cruz has been hot. Brian Reynolds has been okay this year. Key Brian Hayes, he's been the best hitter on the team.
I think sorry.
And we already know how good he is at playing defense. He won the Gold Glove last year.
I think every team needs a player like Mitch Keller just to have that experience. Just to have the Mitch Keller experience. I wish the Reds did. The pitcher can go out and give you 8 earned runs and 12 walks, or 7 straight innings of no-hit baseball.
Looking at the West, the Dodgers are hot. I think Shohei's starting to figure it out from what I've heard. He's hitting some bombs.
Yep.
Dude, he's in the 100th percentile in like 7 stats.
That's crazy.
Stupid.
Padres at 500. I think they're fighting for a playoff chance and then, try and unseat the Dodgers.
I wouldn't be shocked if they get it either.
Padres, I think they'll be in the mix of things.
They'll be in it, but their pitching needs to figure it out.
Diamondbacks got a couple key victories from the Reds, who can't beat a T-ball team, it
Yep.
seems like sometimes. Same thing for the Giants, coming off the series with the Reds. Makes your win-loss record look a little bit better.
I think this Dodgers team is one of the better teams of all time on paper. The fact that they have 16 losses at this point in this year already kind of surprises me. I figured they'd be like 35 and 10. Yeah, I did not see 16. I did not see 16 teams.
It took them a bit to kind of figure things out, because I remember they were like 11-7 to start the year, so they've been hot recently.
Like Teoscar Hernandez is the 6th best hitter in their lineup, and he's averaging like a 250 batting average with like 11 home runs.
That's
I'm
Which is
stupid.
better than half the teams we're looking at.
The Reds
Better than the Reds.
It's the Reds' best hitter if you put him on the team.
No. Close.
If the Dodgers
Ellie.
don't make it, I think that's going to be an interesting thing because they've spent a lot of money.
Oh, they'll make it. I mean, look at the clowns in their division. I mean, the Diamondbacks can't figure it out.
No.
Giants pitching can't figure
I think
it out.
it'll come down to the Dodgers.
And then the
Padres.
Rockies are bottom feeders. Like, who cares about the Rockies?
Poverty
It'll be the
franchise.
Dodgers and the Padres to try and figure that out. Who's going to be that one too? So we'll move through that. and
What else
see
we
what's
got to
going
talk
on.
about?
We had the NFL schedule release. I don't have that up on my thing. If any of y'all want to.
Pull up the-
I know the
Bengals
Steelers
Burrowhead week 2.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that was one of the big thing is the Chiefs and the Bengals in week 2.
I think that's a little early. I feel for
It
those
is
two.
very-
Hey, that's pretty cool, Lambert. It's pretty cool.
And I know the Bengals also have a couple Monday night games and some Sunday night games, a Thursday night game.
Steelers don't play a divisional game until week 11.
Ooh, that's a rough schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's basically all loaded on the back end with all your divisional games.
here on ESPN, they already have the lines for week 1.
I
and
saw a
2.
couple of lines already. You don't even know who's playing anywhere.
Yeah, Cincinnati favored by 8 against Patriots, and KC's favored by 4. That's a terrible line. I'll take the Bengals spread on that one.
Yeah.
And then so Bengals got Patriots week 1. That's a win.
Should be, anyways.
We
You
should
never
go-
know.
We
Week
should
1
go
is always the
3-1
weirdest
through-
week.
3-1 through week 4. Washington and Panthers.
Yeah, we should at least be 3-1.
Spank them.
Steelers have a really brutal schedule, I think.
I think the best thing to happen to us is losing week 8 or is not making the playoffs this year. Because if we make the playoffs, we're getting crushed by whoever we play with Jake Browning going into a hostile environment. Now we get to play the Giants, the Patriots, and the Commanders. 3 easy wins because of
Let's see if we can't. don't know if we're going to be able to put this on the screen for you folks, but we can at least
If you are a senior who has not turned in your Chromebook and or
make sure
charger,
you turn in your
you may
Chromebooks
report to
and
the
your
media
chargers.
center at this
All
time.
right, that's the
I've
big
done
thing.
that.
You're good to go then. So looking at our week 1 games, we're not going to be able to put this on the screen for our followers. Baltimore at Kansas City, that should be a good game to start the season on Thursday night.
Who was the first game? Oh, never mind.
That's the
very top.
Baltimore at Kansas City, so that's the first game. That one should be good.
I don't, you know how much money they would bring in if they put the Bengals in week 1? Bengals and Chiefs, like big time rivalry. They should have done it last year.
Green Bay playing Philadelphia and Sao Paulo. We're looking on the screen here. Tickets start at $778. That's the cheapest one to go to Sao Paulo. That'll be the first time that the NFL's played in Brazil. So that'll be an interesting game to see how that goes.
The line is already -3 for Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Looking at some of the other games, we got Pittsburgh playing at Atlanta, Arizona, Buffalo. The opening for Chicago, Tennessee's coming at Chicago, so the opening for Caleb Williams, he gets to be a home game.
Excited to see that.
Houston, Indianapolis should be a good first game. Got Richardson coming back off the injury. See how he looks for Indianapolis, and Houston's freaking loaded with everything they added this year. Looking at some other games that kind of jump off.
I'm just ready for this.
L.A. Detroit. I mean, there's your matchup of Stafford and Goff.
feel like they're gonna
Goff
come
got
out.
the big deal. You fellas see that?
Yeah, 212 for 4
4 or 5 years.
4 years.
4 years, I thought.
Second
He
highest
deserves
paid
it. He
quarterback.
absolutely
He
deserves it.
does.
He's
Yep.
done very well. and he
I've
can-
always been a Goff supporter.
You know, statistically, that's the most equal trade of all time. Have y'all been seeing that?
That
How
who-
they have the same amount of wins, like the
And what they
completion
got for it?
percentage is absolutely identical. But I think my favorite game of this week, or I wish it was this week, of the week 1 is going to be Chicago, Tennessee. Tennessee is a team that could low-key be sneaky good and get into the
And
playoffs.
they added some good.
They're not in the
firepower to
best of divisions either.
Yeah.
them. No.
I mean, I think Jacksonville and Indy are both kind of mid-tier teams, B-tier teams. So don't be surprised if Tennessee takes a game or two from them.
and this would be a different look for Tennessee. No Derrick Henry this year.
Yeah.
Nope.
that's-
So kind of a different offense. They're gonna, I guess.
They're going to be using a bunch of scat backs.
Yep, some scat backs back there, and the boy from UK, I forgot his name.
Chris Rodriguez.
No, the quarterback from
Oh,
UK.
Will
Oh, Levis.
Yeah, Levis will be starting off the season, so we'll see how that goes.
I'm just ready to see Caleb Williams prove all you guys
Yeah.
wrong and really show y'all who the real #1 player in the whole draft was.
Before anything else,
Obviously, he is.
I'd like to go through the Steelers schedule
No.
because I hate it. I hate this schedule.
Good or bad schedule? I haven't seen it yet.
It's really bad. I hate it.
I'm very excited to see
The
CJ
first
Stroud.
few weeks don't look
play
too
this
bad. Falcons, Broncos both on the road.
That's
Shut up.
okay. Be real here.
Chargers at home. Colts on the road. Cowboys at home. Raiders on the road. Jets, Giants at home. Then the bye week. But we don't play our first divisional game until November 17th.
That's at Cincinnati, right?
No, it's
No,
at,
it's at
no, it's in
Baltimore.
It's in Pittsburgh against Baltimore.
I was looking the other day. Oh, there is a game on birthday this year. I was looking. It's I think it's. But the big thing about this year is they're having a lot of teams play like 3 games in 9 days. Like the Bengals play 3 games in 11 days. Like that is a lot on the body.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, looking at your Steelers schedule, that's a hard back
Yeah,
end.
it's a nasty schedule. I hate it.
Like you said, once you start the playoff, or once you start your divisional, you're versus the Ravens and at the Browns. Definitely, the Browns aren't who they were, so that's not
No.
a given. Bengals, that's a big rivalry. Turn around and play the Browns again. Turn around and go to Philadelphia and play the Eagles, who have always been loaded and have a squad. Then to Baltimore, got to play the Chiefs, and then finishing off versus the Bengals.
The worst part about this,
Chiefs on Christmas.
okay, couple things. One, NFL is trying to ruin my Christmas by having us play the stupid Chiefs
Oh, that's a
on
rough thing.
Netflix exclusively, which
saw
I
that.
don't have. So thanks, NFL. Screw you. Yes, we will all still watch the games on Christmas.
Yes. That's going to be hard because, that's when you might not have your whole squad. You might have some injuries.
Yep.
Some folks might be banged up.
And two, the Steelers have always been the kind of team where they always drop one game where they shouldn't. Last year was against the Patriots. This year it's probably going to be against the freaking Commanders or
Might
something.
be.
It's every year.
Right before that start. Hey, I like Jalen Daniels, man. He is athletic and can do some things. I don't know if he's going to be able to do a whole lot for the.
Why are these
Commanders.
guys questionable? It's like
They haven't even started the year. Guys are already questioning. We don't know if he's going to be ready yet or not.
Commanders got an easy schedule.
Well, I know Cam
Giants.
Hayward's holding out of
Yeah, I saw-
You gotta
voluntary
figure who the
camp.
Commanders are.
Yep, I saw Hayward.
That's not an easy schedule.
Hayward's going to be sitting out for a little bit. And I
There's
don't-
always that one team that just is just coming off like a bad year that just turns around. And I think
That was the
Commanders- I think Commanders are getting a lot of hate, and I think they could be somewhat.
I don't-
8-9.
With what offensive line?
Jaden Daniels is born to run. But
Yeah, he's going to
Yeah.
be.
He's going to
move.
need to because he's going to die if he doesn't run.
He might be running around a lot.
The fact that they didn't even touch it
But he's got
makes
the ability
me
to do it.
concerned. Can you pull up the Bengals schedule again?
Oh, okay.
Out of curiosity, what team are we thinking has the best chance to go from absolute garbage
The Patriots.
to elite this year?
The Patriots. I think Gerard May is a real deal.
I think your teams that can flip it. Let's pull up.
Chicago.
I would say
Well, I think everyone's expecting them to be really good.
I would say possibly Chicago. Or let me pull it up.
Because they weren't even too bad last year because that wasn't their first.
I love
pick.
seeing that E next to the Bungles.
Yeah, I
So
don't
looking
agree.
at last year, you had the Patriots at 4-13. I think they're going to do better. I think they win more than 4.
Well, who knows?
They might
Because
win 5
it's
or
a
6.
completely new era.
That's why I said
Rookie
it's
quarterback,
gonna be
rookie
interesting.
defensive-minded head coach.
Going to be interesting. The North might stay about the same. I don't know if the Ravens will be 13-4. The Browns played well.
I think the Ravens losing Mike McDonald is massive. Their defensive coordinator.
The big
Hmm He's in Seattle now.
In the South, the Jaguars at 9-8 were okay. Houston at 10-7. Houston might actually be better than 10-7 this year.
I think so.
which is
With
kinda-
more
They got
experience.
a lot of primetime games. though.
which is kind of scary. They did pick up a lot of primetime games. There's got to be a lot of pressure on them. And kind of like we've talked about a little bit before, you got a target now. Everybody knows who you are. You're not the
Underdog.
yeah,
anymore.
you ain't the underdog anymore. You're not the rookie that nobody really knows about at quarterback. People know about you and they know what your squad is. The Titans, it's going to be a new day for them with no more Derrick Henry. They've added some different pieces. And whether or not they can get off that hump. The Chargers with bringing in the new head coach, you would think they're going to go better than 5-12. But one of those things you just never really know.
I think Las Vegas Raiders could be decent this year. I like their head coach and I like what he's done with the defensive identity. They're just going back to that old school smash your face in.
Do you
type
start
of defense.
O'Connell or Minshew week 1? I think you
Minshew.
start O'Connell.
Minshew.
I think you start O'Connell, just see what he's got. I know they started him a lot
I mean,
last year,
I can
but
see him
he's still a
doing it.
young quarterback.
You got to save Minshew magic for like a backup or bringing him in when things aren't good.
Minshew's just
and
that
then you'll get Minshew magic.
average. Minshew's the most average quarterback in the NFL right now. But
Hey, now.
average can get away.
Hey, he can win games.
They did lose Jacobs, which hurts.
Yeah.
He's on the Packers now, yep.
So I'm curious who's going to be toting the mail for the Raiders out of the backfield. They've got I'm not sure who
I
know who the
think,
running backs are.
if you ask me, I think the most intriguing team this upcoming season, not the Bears, not the Falcons, the Vikings. I think the Vikings are the most intriguing team to
what they
watch.
can do with J.J. McCarthy.
I think they'll start Sam Darnold right away.
Think so?
I think so.
See if he can figure it out. The Giants with Daniel Jones. If Jones can figure it out, they got Malik Neighbors. He's definitely a threat
Yep.
on the field. The Panthers at 2-15. I think that
They'll be better, or at least they better be.
you would hope, or else somebody's going to have their.
Only way you can go is up when you're 2-15.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room for.
That's what the Browns said when they went 1-15. They followed that up with an 0-16 season.
That was bad.
We need to start talking about the UFC on here.
That was bad.
When you get the UFC.
I think that's a you thing. I don't know if anybody else really.
Maybe
Get
next
Stone
year.
on here. Get Stone on here.
Yeah, get Stones on here. You guys.
We can
talk
bring him for about a
UFC,
10-minute segment. We
little
can
fight.
No,
switch the camera.
they could make
on
it
the
go.
back,
They could make
yeah.
it go the whole time. So
Oh,
they-
we do all third hour. We just
Probably talk about it. The Cardinals at 4-13. Hopefully they can get things fixed and going in the right direction.
We can talk about some golf.
Yep, we got Valhalla.
The Valhalla.
Valhalla.
Went to the
fellas
practice
were
round
over
yesterday.
Fellas were over at Louisville playing a little golf over there. Have you played Valhalla before?
No. That is a lot of money.
Is it? How much is it to play around out there?
I would assume it's probably about 1,000. Yeah, it's
For 18 holes?
Mm-hmm. And you got to know people. It's not just something you sign up for and get it. Like, you got to know people.
To get in there, huh?
Yes.
Huh.
But we went yesterday for a practice round.
Yeah, how'd it look?
Oh, my gosh. It's so pretty.
Nice course?
It's unbelievable. Like, and it just really makes you, when you go to, like, an event like that, not like the actual game. Like, go to, like, watch them practice.
Yeah.
That just really puts into perspective how much worse the average player is. Like,
And how good they really are.
like let's say I had a shot. Like, I had a shot. The guy Brooks Koepka got a shot from the middle of the fairway, hits it to 12 feet left of the pin, and I'd have been ecstatic with that shot. I'd be like, let's go up here and make birdie. He was not happy because he wanted to be on the right side of the
other
pin,
side.
and it's just like you just take like angles and like stuff into account. It's just,
Of what they're doing.
Whenever I drive and hit the ball, that's
gosh.
whenever I feel really good.
Yeah, whenever you just hit it for some people.
Not a sport.
It is a sport. Eli.
All right, Kemper, talk to us a little bit about baseball. What's going on here at OCHS? We got regionals or district?
District tournament.
No
coming up
pressure.
here soon.
District starts next week. You guys have been rained out of your rain out.
Yep.
Been rough.
Got a game scheduled for tonight. Scheduled it yesterday. We're playing Great Crossing.
Who's pitching?
I think we're gonna be throwing a lot of our guys tonight. Get them ready for the district tournament because we haven't been playing a lot.
Now,
We have had barely any games.
sorry to ask, but when was the last time you guys actually played a game?
We played Saturday.
Saturday?
That was our last game.
How'd
and,
that
go? We not very well. We
You guys have been off.
we
Even
beat
before that, it'd been
we
a while.
beat Williamstown 5-1, but we haven't had a chance to like play any teams like really on our skill level. And
Are you going to make playoffs at least?
you're in the playoffs automatically.
Oh, okay.
We're one seed in the district.
Oh,
But,
okay.
Before that, like middle of the season, playing like coming out, beating Carroll 2-0, beating Henry 2-0. Like I don't think we've done that in a long time.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that's happened in a very long time. We got a chance to do something that hasn't been done in 47 years, 3 district championships in a row.
Good.
But last 2 weeks hasn't been very good. Our catcher, Trip Allnut, he hasn't played in almost 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's hard for timing, especially at this
Yeah.
level to get back to where you want to
Why is
be.
it triple?
Just put me out there with my 110-mile fastball.
Friday and
You guys will be all
Friday
right.
and Saturday against Trimble and Williamstown. He wasn't there. He was at a wedding. And then week before, probably rain out.
So when do you get your placements and your games for district? Or do we have those already?
We have the schedule
Okay.
or the bracket.
So
So
do you know who you guys got?
not exactly yet. So
Okay.
we got the first round bye.
Okay.
And so does Carroll. They're
Right.
2 seed. On our side of the bracket, it is Gallatin and Eminence first round.
Okay. Who are you thinking out of that game?
I'm thinking Eminence because Eminence is the only team in the district to beat us this year.
Okay.
Which
And-
team would you rather play?
I would rather play Gallatin
Probably.
because Eminence has beat us this year and they know they can do it. So we're going to have to come out swinging
And then
that game.
who's Carroll got the winner of?
They have the winner of Henry and Trimble.
Okay.
So Henry's going to win that game. That's pretty much a no doubter.
Okay.
But Harold and Henry or
Harold and Carroll.
Harold.
Carroll and Henry, that's a big matchup right there. They split the series this year. But first game of their series, Henry came out. They didn't pitch either of their guys first game, and Carroll just thought they weren't really that good.
Yeah.
Run rolled him, and then next game, Henry came out, threw in both their guys, and beat them. So they split that series.
Okay.
Carroll ended up coming out with the 2 seed. It's gonna be a tough district tournament this year.
So-
It's gonna be hard.
The way y'all gonna have to play to win, I think y'all gonna have to play some really good defense and pitch a lot because your lineup 1 through 9 doesn't have a lot of firepower. Just get on base and scratch and claw some.
Our defense,
Running ball, baby.
It really hasn't been the problem this year. Our main problem is our offense. Our defense and our pitching it's improved a lot since the very
It's
start.
kept y'all in a lot of
Very start of the season, we didn't play very well. Like our pitching wasn't that great. Bats weren't really going, but coming into like middle of the season, like Michael Smith, he's like up there. He's like our 1 or 2 guy pitching. He's grown a lot. He's getting a lot better in that varsity level.
He's got a really good ERA, I saw.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 1 or 2 or
Yeah.
something.
Him and Caden are both pretty good. Caden last year was like one of the top ERAs in the state.
Good. So after district, then we go a regional, right?
Yes, we go to region. As
Okay.
long as we win first round, we're guaranteed a spot in the region. But gosh, the region is looking real tough this
Who
year.
else is in our region for baseball?
SK?
The people that are gonna make it out of the district with
that
Grant,
Verona?
Grant, Walton, SK, and Williamstown.
I put
SK
my money
and,
on SK or Verona.
SK and Walton are gonna take it. I don't really know who's gonna be 1 and 2 there, because if we win the district, we'll play a loser, and if we lose the district, we'll play the winner.
Okay.
And then Woodford and Spencer, I think, are going to be the top 2 out of that district, with Collins and Anderson County. I went and watched Anderson County the other night, and they weren't looking too good.
Yeah.
They played Carroll and only beat them 5-2, which is not like them.
So in baseball in Kentucky, they don't have the classes like we have in football, right? Is it just all
It's-
big free for all, sort of, or is there classes and levels?
Like,
No, it's free for all.
Okay, so
we
everybody's
could-
on the same.
Yeah, we could be in there with McCracken County if they were right next to us.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
but the thing about the winners and losers draw is sometimes sometimes the teams that lose get a better matchup than the teams that
yeah.
win. Sometimes, like SK would rather play
Us.
like
How they match up?
a good like a winner in example y'all than
Yeah.
rather than like a loser in Anderson County.
Yeah.
Like they don't want that big matchup.
Quick question for you, Nathaniel.
Yep.
How's the beach?
It's great down here. Got my toes in the sand. I don't
a
really
little-
like sand,
it's a
actually.
little-
I'm not a huge fan of the
It's
beach.
a little chilly. He's got his hoodie on.
Yeah.
It's obviously cold in Pittsburgh. You've got your hoodie on.
Up north.
And it's a little cold in Valhalla.
Where are
I'm
you
just
supposed to
keeping
be,
the grass off
McCarthy?
my
Are you
head.
in space right now?
I'm in space, man. We're flying the
He's
spaceship
invading
around,
Earth right now.
getting ready to prepare the photon lasers for attack mode.
That's out of this world.
Get the shields up and see if we can't find a black hole. to
What's
disappear
better,
into.
Aliens or Predator? What's the better
Ah,
movie?
you know
series?
what? We watched.
Speaking of the Earth.
We watched Predator 2 last night. I hadn't seen that in a long time. That's pretty good.
I think Predator is better. I think the Predator series is better.
I think it is. Have you seen? There was one called Prey on.
Isn't that a series?
No, it was on Amazon or on Hulu. That was pretty good. It's kind of
Oh, I ain't seen
before
that.
it all. That was pretty good. We watched that one the other night. So yeah, we started watching Songbirds and Snakes or whatever from the Hunger Games. That's been interesting so far. So.
I can't talk movies. I've never even
Started
seen
playing
Finding
the apes
Nemo,
last
if
night.
that gives you
You've never
an...
You haven't seen Finding Nemo?
Nope.
Have you not seen Nemo?
You ever seen Nope, Mr. McCarthy?
Nope.
The movie by
Oh,
Jordan Peele?
yeah, that was interesting.
Oh my gosh, that movie's amazing.
Yeah, I've never even seen Finding Nemo. There's an entire list of movies I haven't
Have
seen.
you seen Cars? Have you watched Cars?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
That
god,
is-
you ain't never seen Cars?
Pull it up. Start watching it right now.
Get a Disney
That is like
account, man, and sign up.
that's the
No.
best movie. Like one of the
Pay her
best
and
movies ever
get her
made.
done.
You don't even need to buy an account or anything. You can go online and look up free movies and
Yeah,
like
that'll probably be on there.
freemovies.io or
Probably on
something, and
YouTube.
then everything.
This
pops up.
is the end of me, folks. This is how I
Yeah, have
die.
you watched SpongeBob?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
You watch Star Wars?
No.
Have you watched the SpongeBob movies?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. okay.
You know what? On the unfortunate side of things, this is your last show for us.
Mhm. Sure is.
Dang.
This is it for Eli Hansford. Eli's going to be graduating on Friday. You excited? Sort of.
Yeah.
Good riddance.
What's your plans after
You
high
gonna
school?
you gonna move to Pittsburgh and
No. I think I'm just going to go live with my mom for a bit.
yeah.
Get a job there.
I figured you'd move into Pittsburgh and rocking the Pirates and
Where's Mom
Steelers
live?
and Penguins.
Frankfurt.
Everything under the sun. Eating
No, my
pierogies.
brother lives in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, how's he like it up there?
He likes it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. He lives with our grandparents.
We'll
Yeah.
miss you.
I think it'd be a
We
good
will.
place for you. Yeah, we will definitely miss you.
We'll miss
you
playing
around
cards. Cards every day. Getting yelled at by Crutchlow.
Getting yelled at Crush Level
Never
instead
change
makes you bad
crutches.
play.
Well, I mean, it used to be me yelling at the three of you just the
That's
same.
true.
So now it's just same teacher in the new teacher, same room,
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
same stuff.
Yep.
Some
True.
Some things never change.
Shadow boxing in the back.
A little bit. There used to be some pretty good card games going on back there.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Isaac Wash
Yeah,
and Nathan
Cody.
Smith back in the day.
You can't forget
Cody Combs, stinking Lincoln Cobb back
Yep.
there, getting it on.
It's true.
A couple of y'all were around for those.
I remember those days.
Yep.
Some of the heydays.
Gavin.
Yep.
Ah, good old
Tone there,
times.
Big Tone.
No. I
Ah,
forgot
Big
something.
Tone.
Blake and
Tone up
Figgy.
there working on some stuff.
Oh yeah, Blake
and
and
Figgy.
Figgy.
Yeah,
that's it.
Blake and Figgy getting
Yep.
after it a little bit.
I mean, you think we're old? Like those guys are old, was it?
Yeah.
They graduated like 2 years ago. Like,
I don't know.
It's crazy.
Bailey.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
and Bailey, yeah.
Yeah.
Wyatt.
Yeah, Wyatt Trailer was in there for a little bit. I think Eli, were you around for classroom baseball when we played that?
Yes.
with
That was
Lake?
freshman year.
freshman year.
my
yeah.
freshman year,
Yeah,
yep.
You fellas weren't there for that
No.
one. We had classroom baseball going on.
What happened in classroom baseball?
We literally took an empty water bottle and like a crumpled up piece of paper with like 4 other pieces of paper on the ground as bases, and then just hit the ball around.
Now you got to remember this was COVID days. This was
These were
like
COVID
four
days.
people in the classroom type
Yep.
stuff, so it was a little different.
Yeah,
But,
Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake was in there for a little bit.
Jake the Snake was in there. Lake.
It's not a name.
So, well, folks, that's all I got. Eli, give us that. We'll put you on the main screen for your one last sign off and let you have at it, man.
Just have a great day, folks. Don't die.
This is Eli Hansford signing.
Eli Hansford.
Signing out. Good night.